welcome back to Crafting and Crime Daily. It's Friday dance. I'm supposed to get out of my chair. Not today. Not today. Not today. Okay, got a lot to cover today. So stay tuned to the end because I've got some things to show you from one of my affiliations. You're not going to want to miss it. So there's a lot to cover. Of course, we're going to talk about Kowalski. We're also going to talk about Chad Daybell. He's set to go on trial next year, 2024. And we're going to talk about Alan Brown. Who? Alan Brown. Let's start with Alan Brown because you probably don't remember him. This was a case that I covered. What have I got all this crap here for? Jesus. It's just everywhere. My goodness. 7 months ago, I covered this case. This was the guy who he was in Chicago. He's from Chicago, Illinois. Anyway, he was in Chicago and he allegedly murdered someone and then stole their vehicle. Now, those charges are still pending in Chicago. Then he gets in that car and he goes to Wisconsin. And they put up out to be on the lookout for this guy's vehicle. But what he did was he stopped at a convenience store gas station off the highway in Wisconsin, and the vehicle had OnStar. I gotta make sure my microphone's on. Yeah, the vehicle had OnStar, and OnStar disables the vehicle while he's in the convenience store. So then when he comes out to try to leave, it won't start. So he's like, what's going, he's trying to start the car. Well, meanwhile, police spot this vehicle. They were given information by OnStar about where the vehicle was. So they go and they're trying to figure out how we're going to go about this. And they surround him with their vehicles in kind of like a V formation. And he sees them. He gets out of his car and he runs. Well, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 guys run after him, including a guy with the canine office, canine, and a German Shepherd. And it's probably coming back to you now, this trial. So he starts shooting at the officers, and the officers are shooting back. He shoots the dog because the canine officer releases the dog. He shoots the dog in the head. The dog survives. The officers quickly get him to an animal hospital. He survives his injuries. Thank God. I felt so bad. This is a dog. It's a dog. So they take him into custody. And so the trial that I covered was all the charges pending that were alleged against him as a result of that incident at that convenience store. Not the murder or the vehicle that he stole. But in any case, he was supposed to be sentenced. They did their usual thing. Once he was convicted, they said, we're going to get a pre-sentence investigation, and then, we'll come back and we'll do the sentencing in about a month, because it takes about a month to get the PSI. So they come back in a month later to do the sentencing, and he's not at the table. So they bring a sheriff officer up, and he tells the court, this guy refused to come out of his cell. He won't come out of his cell. And we've tried everything. The attorney's gone to talk to him. The person that can usually get through to him while at the jail, she's talking to him. He's not coming out of that cell. So then his attorney talks, and his attorney tells the judge, I'm worried. He says, I've tried to visit him twice. Once he was on lockdown, twice last week to go over the PSI. He says, once he was on lockdown, and the next time I went to see him, he wouldn't see me. So I haven't had a chance to go over this PSI with him, pre-sentence investigation. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about what his sentence could be. I haven't had a chance, I need to go over this with him. But I'm worried that he's not competent. I'm worried about his mental health at this point. Once that comes out of your mouth, a competency. The judge cannot go forward with the sentencing. That's why it has taken 7 months to determine if he's competent to be sentenced. So that played out, and he was actually sentenced yesterday. Alan Brown. So he had 9 counts against him that he was found guilty on. 3 of those counts were for the first 3 were for shooting at the officers. So for those 3 counts, for each one of those counts, he got 12 and a half years, plus followed by 5 years of probation to run consecutively. This judge was not playing. Then counts 4 was committing a felony with a weapon, so he got 5 years for that consecutive. Then counts 5 and 6, because it's an animal, you don't get the he only got 18 months for the animal shooting because it's an animal, but followed by 2 years of supervision. So also to run consecutive. Then he counts 7. He got 18 months. That was for I don't remember what that one was for. But anyway, that was 18 months to run concurrent. I think it had to do with having a weapon or something. Counts 8 was for the stolen vehicle, and he got 5 years for that, followed by 2 years of supervision, consecutive to all of the other counts. Count 9, he got 3 years, followed by 3 years of supervision. This was the count. I don't know if you remember, but when he was apprehended after he shot the dog, he had to be taken to the hospital because the dog bit him. And while he was at the hospital, he tried to escape. So that was what the 3 years were for. So all total, only one of those sentences, 18 months, is concurrent. All the rest are consecutive. So he is facing, or he's been sentenced to 47 and a half years in prison, followed by 31 years of supervision when he gets out. Yeah. And he's a young guy, so we'll see where that goes. He may get game time, but there certainly is a question about his mental health, and he's still facing murder charges in Chicago. So I wanted to let you know how that all played out. So now we get to talk about Chad Daybell. Now, I don't think I have to remind you what that trial's about. He is the co-conspirator with Lori Vallow Daybell, his wife, for killing his former wife and Lori Daybell's 2 kids, Kylie and JJ. She was convicted. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. His trial is coming up next year, so a lot of these pretrial motions were filed yesterday, and a lot of them have to do with where is it? Okay, here's the notes. It was a motion to strike the death penalty, saying that during Lori Vallow's trial, she was not facing the death penalty, and the prosecutors argued over and over again that she was the most culpable of all the conspirators. So he's not as culpable as she is. And she didn't face the death penalty, which that's unconstitutional. It's disproportionate. It's not fair. Well, the reason she didn't face the death penalty was an error on the prosecution's part. They brought in some evidence at the last minute, which didn't give the defense enough time to have their mitigation expert review all of this evidence. So the judge says, the only remedy I have for this, because she hasn't waived her right to a speedy trial, he says, I have to move forward with this trial, is to take the death penalty off the table. But he is still facing the death penalty. So his lawyers are saying, nope, it's not fair. Can't do that. Mm-mm. So that's going to be argued November 29th. That same day, they're going to argue about whether or not cameras can come into the courtroom. I think you'll recall Lori Vallow Daybell's no cameras. We had to wait to the end of the day to, hear what happened that day, or even the next day we had to wait. So it was a little bit delayed. I like to see everything in action. Anyway, the media has hired lawyers that will make arguments in front of the judge in favor of having cameras in the courtroom. And my understanding is that Chad Daybell's attorney is in favor of having cameras in the courtroom. So we may get to have cameras in the courtroom. Yes. Yay. Okay, let's talk about Kowalski. My goodness, the jury was not happy with Johns Hopkins Children's Hospital. They lost. They lost big time. Going into this trial, the plaintiffs were asking, and that's Jack, Maya, and Kyle. Jack is the father. Their mother, Beata, committed suicide, and that was a big portion of the trial, also a big portion of the verdict. Um, I just lost my train of thought. I need some coffee. Take a breath, right? Have a cup, some coffee. Okay, hold on. So the jury deliberated for 16, between 16 and 17 hours, and came back with a unanimous verdict on everything in favor of the Kowalskis. And I could go through it each separately. I did in yesterday's video. If you want to watch that, I went through everything separately, but I added the math wrong. She got a total of, the family, because it's broken up in different ways. Some of that money's going into the estate of Beata Kowalski. 40% of that money will go to the attorneys. And so the award, not reward, the award was $211 million. So once that played out, it took the clerk over 18 minutes to read that verdict. Once that played out, the jury was sent out, catch your breath. You're not done yet. You got to go into phase two. Phase two is the punitive damage phase, because they did say that punitive damages were warranted for the false imprisonment and batteries. So they came back after they, caught their breath and rested for a little while. They came back. They were there till late last night. It took them about an hour to deliberate on the phase two, but they heard evidence first. The plaintiffs put on a CPA, an accountant, forensic accountant, who talked about how much money this hospital has. They said, they could pay an award of $1 billion. If you gave punitive damages of $1 billion, they could pay it. This hospital has plenty of money, and they're right. They have insurance out the wazoo. All hospitals do. They have what's called umbrella policies that just go way up. When I was a risk manager for the hospital that I worked at, and I looked at the policies, I was shocked. I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. Yeah, they can pay it. So that was what he was on the stand for. And then the hospital put on somebody to refute that. In the state of Florida, you can, there is a cap on punitive damages. It's, I believe, and I could be wrong on the amount, it's 500,000 or 3 times the award, the compensatory award, which for those particular charges was 78 million of the total verdict, because there was wrongful death and other stuff. But for the false imprisonment and battery charges was 78 million. So they could go 3 times 78 million. And is that right? Was it 78 million? I think so. These numbers confuse me. Anyway, 3 times the compensatory award is what they could have given her. So they came back and they awarded another $50 million. So the plaintiffs walked out with an award of $261 million. That's not monopoly money, people. This is real money. I'm like, oh my God, I can't, wow. Now, of course, the hospital will appeal. Pending that, appeal, there's probably going to be negotiations um, that will lower that amount, I would suspect. And whether or not they take that or not, who knows? But I didn't know this, that the hospital, during the 5 or 6 years or since this litigation was filed, they never made an offer to this family. They had no choice but to go to trial. This hospital was so confident. Sorry about the clock. It's working today. This hospital was so confident that they could get a verdict in their favor, that they never even made an offer. They wanted to support healthcare workers. What is it? The mandatory reporters. They don't want to. They didn't want to have a chilling effect on mandatory reporters. You should be able to, as a healthcare worker, without fear of getting dragged into court, be able to call the Department of Children and Families and report suspected abuse, neglect, or exploitation of a minor or an elderly. But in this case, that that part, I don't have a problem with. But this Sally Smith that marched in, the DCF turned over to the Child Protective Team, and then this Sally Smith comes in on her white horse and thinks she's going to save the day for the Kowalskis. Oh my God. So after all was said and done, and this was, it's dark now, it's late at night, it's probably, I'm going to say 7:30 Eastern time. They came out and they gave a press conference. So here is Maya speaking to the press.
For the first time, I feel like I got justice, and to a lot of people, that's unfortunately not something they could feel in this situation, and I'm just blessed that I could feel that for myself, for others, and for my mother. I have her engagement band on my ring finger. I have her rosary. I have this, I have this necklace, which I actually gifted to her from Johns Hopkins Children's Hospital. And I added one pendant, which is a picture of my mom and I in Monterrey, Mexico, around the time I got my kidney coma.
Parents have rights, and they make the decision.
Oh, she's such a cutie pie, isn't she? Oh my God, she's adorable. First of all, I hope they get a new house, move out of the house where Beata took her life. Yeah, if I were you, I'd get out of Florida, but that's just me. Uh, but get a new house and have a great life. Really, honest to God, have a good life. Yeah. So, what else am I going to talk about today? Oh, okay, I remember. I have a headache. I'm sorry, people. Okay, so today, a couple of things today, and today is Friday, and Crafts with Crashley. The links are all down in the description. Crafts with Crashley is releasing some more of my artwork as release papers. This one, I don't know what she's named them all. This one, the bouquet. I love this one. And the poinsettia, and last but not least, the ornaments. So that all comes out today as a release paper. Check out that site, Crafts with Crashley. Yep, there's a link and a discount code down in the description. The other thing I wanted to show you, oh my gosh, I am also affiliate with Diamond Painting Drills, and she sent me some stuff to show you guys. Oh my God. Look, I love the bling. Love the bling. All right, first is some of these bars that she's started carrying now. She sent these that are called Shadow Hematite. I love hematite drills. It's like a metallic, like a grayish black metallic, and it's great in place of a black drill. Then she sent me these shadows. Now this one's called Shadow. I want to look at these. I want to show them to you. I haven't looking at them in the package, I can't really get a good feel for how they look. So let's take a look here. I'm going to pour some into a tray. I will. Those are gorgeous. It's almost like a light black. I can show you there, but I also put a picture here. Yeah, here they are. Or like maybe a dark gray, but I like those. I love these bars, really do. All of these I'm going to use in that large painting that I'm going to do next year. Then she sent me some white ones. Let's look at the white ones. She has them in all different colors. The link to her site is down in the description also. And if you follow that link to her site and you happen to make a purchase, I do make a small commission. Oh, these white ones are gorgeous. Look at those. Of course, I put them in a pink tray, but they're gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Love, love, love those. Okay. Now, she sent me some more of these subtle black ABs, subtle 310. A 310 AB, Aurora Borealis drill, is very multicolored when you lay it down, and to the point where it doesn't even look black anymore. It's whatever you're putting that over is intended to be black, and this really makes it come across. So the iridescence on top of this drill is subtle. It has like a bluish tint to it, but on most angles, you're just going to see that it looks black, like it's supposed to. But it adds a little oomph to it. Then she sent me these two. Oh my God. Also, this month, there's a sale on metallic drills all through the month of November. 10% off all of the metallic drills. But let me show you these. These are 5,200 crystals. Oh my God. I love them. Let's pour some in to, oh, let me put these back. Come on. So, this little tray that I'm using, it's from Bella Art de Nicole. I am not an affiliate for them. I just like their trays. Cute little logo on the lid, little pouring spout. I love them. Anyway, let's look at these. 5,200 is a white. So these are white, like 5,200 crystals. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're like bubbles, like little bubbles. I'll take a picture of that close up so you can see it. Oh my gosh. Then also 3712. These are stunning. You could use these anywhere. And I hope to find a place in this painting that I'm doing now, Into the Night. It's a round painting, and these are rounds. Have a look at these. They look kind of multicolored, like a clear multicolor. Oh my God. These take my breath away. They really do. I just love stuff that sparkles. Yeah, I'm all about the sparkly stuff. So also during the month of um, November, December, she is having a sale on a mystery box. It's called the 12 Days of Christmas. This is a box of individually wrapped little presents for you. Well, you can open up one, like an Advent thing. Go, on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me diamonds. Diamonds. Yeah. So I hope to get one of these. They're limited, so run, don't walk to that site. It's $145 value that you're getting, and how fun is that? In the days leading up to Christmas, every day you get to open up one of these beautiful packages of diamond painting drills. $99. So the link to that site is down in the description. Thanks for bearing with me for the advertisement part of this show. But who doesn't love a good sale, right? All right, guys, that's the show for today. I am going to have a great weekend, and I hope you do too. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I'll be live at 11 a.m. for coffee and chit chat. See you then. Bye.